Hello, and welcome back to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaffer. I'm so grateful that you're here. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I actually wanted to give you guys a inside sneak peek of what it is like to be inside my community, Tranquil Minds. I have been building this community now for the last year and a couple months, and the topics that I share in this community are seriously the most expansive, heartfelt, soul-led conversations that I love having with all of the women in there. This community of girls are so driven and willing to actually do the work necessary to up level and rise into their greatest potential. And I just wanted to share this incredible call that I hosted for Abundance April, just to show you guys what it's like to be surrounded by this energy. You're going to be guided through a little bit of a meditation visualization in here. And then, of course, there's going to be lots of other amazing points, journal prompts, and things that you can actually take away from this episode. So, if you have a moment to actually take a couple minutes to just relax and tune into your body and take everything in, you are going to thank yourself for giving yourself this moment to just ground and tune into the abundant energy that is gifted through this content. So, take a moment to do that. If you would like to join Tranquil Minds, I would love to open this community up to you. If you're somebody who actually wants that guidance, this is a place where all of the women are asking questions. They're actually coming to me to get support, and they lean on me when they need me most. And I love, love, love being that resource for them. We go through tons of different topics regarding manifestation and beliefs, your subconscious reprogramming. Of course, when it comes to business expansion, we've got multiple different chats in there so you can celebrate your wins and actually be celebrated and witnessed in your growth. I know that when you start out in personal development, it can kind of be a little bit challenging just because it can feel very lonely. Like you don't really feel like you resonate with maybe your family anymore, or some of your friends, and just having a community that you can go to and truly pour into all of the women in there and then get that in receiving that is just top notch, exponentially valuable, and I cannot wait for you guys to experience it. If you'd like to join Tranquil Minds, there's a link down below in the description of this podcast episode, and I am so, so, so excited to connect with you on a deeper level and get to know you and your story more and more. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hello, friends. Happy Abundant April. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be kicking off April on the first with my Tranquil Minds girls. I'm so, so, so grateful that you guys are here and just really excited to pour into you guys this month. This is also my birthday month as well. So I'm just feeling all of the good energy and yeah, just really taking some time to reflect on all of the abundance in my life. And I hope that you guys are all doing the same. Now, I wanted to start off today's call with just taking a moment to connect with our breath and a little bit of a guided visualization. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to turn my laptop this way so that I can direct you guys in what we're doing and yeah, not get distracted by looking at the screen or anything. So what we are going to do is if you can, I want you to get seated into a comfortable position or lying down, taking a moment to come into your space, feeling your body connecting with the surface beneath you, grounding into the earth with a visual of a giant tree branch, a tree trunk, maybe a waterfall, maybe a cord of light grounding from the tailbone down into the crystalline core of the earth. Taking a deep breath here, really feeling into that and visualizing that grounding. One more big deep breath Inhaling as high and as wide as you can, and exhaling everything out. Now, sticking with this visual of your grounding cord or tree trunk, waterfall, whatever that your mind naturally comes up with, I want you to also imagine that at the top of your head, you are connected to the stars above with a beautiful cord of light. Taking a deep breath and choosing a color for this cord. Whatever color feels most connected with you in this moment. Imagine that cord growing with vibrance, color, and a surge of energy. Allow that surge of energy to travel from the top of your head down through your neck space into your heart center, staying very connected with your breath, moving down into your stomach, your pelvic area, your hips, feeling that energy, that vibration going through your legs, down to your ankles, and through the bottom of your toes. Now, connecting with that vibrance, that alive feeling, I want you to really enhance that feeling within your body right now. Connecting with it on a level that you haven't in the past. And now I really want you to think about the word abundance. Abundance is all around us in every moment, whether we choose to tune into it or we choose to tune into lack. Abundance is always there. It never wavers. There is an abundant amount of air around you. There is an abundant amount of trees outside, of birds, of grass covering this earth. There is an abundance of people around you in every given moment, stretching out far and wide. There is an abundance of cars on the road. There is an abundance of threads in your carpet. There is an abundance of water circulating our planet at every given moment. This earth that we get to call home has everything that we could ever need. And a lot of times we take that for granted. While you're staying here in this mindful state, I'd like you to take a moment to center yourself in gratitude. Allow yourself to come up with 3 separate things that you are grateful for. Starting off with the first one, whether that's a person, a place, a thing, bring that vision up here and now. Bring it to life. What is the first thing that you are extremely grateful for? Taking a deep breath, allowing that energy to build, allowing your heart to feel whole, knowing that you have everything that you need. And then bringing up the second thing that you are so grateful for within this moment. Bringing that vision to life, turning up the volume, turning up the colors, feeling into that incredible energy of gratitude that's always available to us. And lastly, bringing up your final person, place, thing that you are extremely grateful for in this moment right now. Allow yourself to have a smile on your face, knowing that there is always so much to be grateful for. In this world, we have abundance consistently surrounding us. You have everything that you need in this moment right now. How great is that? Taking another deep, deep breath here. And exhaling with a sigh, allowing yourself to feel supported by the surface beneath you once again. Centering yourself in gratitude, fulfillment, joy, happiness, and last but not least, abundance. Taking one last deep breath and starting to come back into your present moment, into the body, wiggling your fingers, your toes, and allowing yourself to be here and now. You're going to open your eyes whenever you're ready. Now, I really wanted to start us off with this abundance breathwork and visualization just to start us out with knowing that we truly have so much available to us. And I know that it can be challenging at moments to see everything that we maybe don't have enough of, or that's going wrong, or how much more we need. And we can get into this mindset that really makes us feel like we never have enough. And the reality is that we truly do. There is so much that we can connect with. And the more frequently that we connect with the abundance that is around us in our day-to-day life, the more that we will bring that abundance into our life in other areas, whether that's through your business, whether that's through tips at work, whether that's through a friend wanting to help you out, or someone wanting to watch your children for free. There are so many ways that we can be taken care of. And I just think that it's so important to recognize that your perception is your reality. And if you can start to tune into the abundance at all times and really be present in the moment, and instead of getting caught up in all of the chaos that's currently happening in your life, tuning into everything that's actually around, all of the support that we really do have, and even if the money in your bank account is not saying that, you know that you're always going to be taken care of. You will always be provided. And all of the years that you've been alive, that has been the case. You've always been provided for, and the universe has always shown up every single time that you've been in need. And it's so, so, so important for us to continue to recognize this over the lack and the scarcity, because once you start to tip those scales and you get into abundance more frequently than you're into lack, you continuously build upon the abundance, and those scales start to really change, and that you no longer will be in the state of lack that you've once lived in. It takes lots of practice. It takes a lot of awareness to start catching yourself when you get into a lack mindset and deciding that you're going to choose a new path. You're going to choose to view things in a different way because the more present that you are, the more frequently you're going to notice the things around you that you never have to question. Like, for example, water. You never have to question if you're going to go get water because we live in abundance of water. You never have to question if you're going to have a bed because you know that that's always a bare minimum. And those are things that other people go without. And I'm constantly expressing my own gratitude because I want to be grateful for the little things because if you can be grateful for the little things, you're going to be so grateful for everything else that comes into your life. And the gratitude is truly the basis of attracting more abundance. You will not receive more if you can't be grateful and content with what you already have. And I think that when you start to get clear and you remove yourself from living on autopilot or getting constantly caught up in the thoughts in your mind or moving from task to task and never taking time to rest or to be in your own mental space, let's say through meditation or visualization or journaling or any of those things, it can be really easy to get caught up and live in autopilot and not recognize everything that we truly do have available to us. So I want you to gain some clarity here and today on what abundance truly looks like for you in this moment. Does it look like having a car that works, or does it look like having an upgraded car? Does it look like having an abundance of clothes to choose from? Or does it look like having a select few items that you love so much? When you start to gain clarity on what abundance is for you, you are choosing to create that own reality for yourself. You're giving the universe direction. You're giving the universe clarity. You're giving yourself clarity and direction on where you want to go and the life that you want to create. And it can be so extremely helpful knowing that when the next level of abundance starts to support you in your life, how would you like to spend your money? Where would you like to spend your money? Where would you like to donate to? Would you tip more? How would you operate differently from how you're currently operating? And I'll definitely give you guys some journal prompts on this specifically because the way that you can tap into abundance, there's so many ways to do it, but my personal favorite is knowing how I will feel with the abundance that I desire and how I will spend that and what abundance looks like, feels like, smells like to me. I remember when I was first like moving out of my parents' apartment or I mean my parents' house, I always would go to Sephora and there was this one perfume that I would constantly spray. It's called Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf. And I remember saying like this is going to be my signature scent when I am like this wealthy woman. And then I remember my boyfriend, one of my exes, he ended up buying this like little mini kit for me. He didn't even know that I liked this perfume. He bought this like little mini kit for me that had like three perfumes from Viktor and Rolf. And I remember using it and just being like, this is what abundance smells like to me. Like, this is what a wealthy woman smells like to me. And so crazy, guys. After like 2 years later than that, in 2023, I started working with different brands and I had Victor and Rolf somehow get my email. I have no idea how they got my email. And they asked if they could send me a PR package for me to share on social media about Victor and Rolf Flower Bomb. And they ended up sending me like their biggest size of flower bomb. Then they ended up sending me a little travel size and then like a lotion. And I just remember getting this and being like, oh my gosh, like this is so amazing. Like, how cool is this? This is something that I've always wanted. And I just feel like that's a perfect example of like getting clear. Like, when you get clear, the universe shows up for you. A lot of times when we're trying to gain clarity on what abundance looks like, we think like, oh, I just have more money. What does that do for you? Like, the money's not going to sit in your bank account. I want you to actually get clear and where you would spend that money. Like the last call that we had, we did a like your finances, and I'm pretty sure that we did like a budget that was all on the things that you would be adding into your budget now, or like your spending habits every single month. That's a perfect journal prompt to start expanding your mind. Now with this, like thinking, okay, you're starting to make your first 10K months. What does that look like for you? How does that feel? Does that give you a sense of safety and security? And if it does, how can you start to feel into safety and security on a daily basis? Can you start reminding yourself, I am safe, I am secure, I am provided for? In random moments, when you're walking on the street, when you're coming into home, telling yourself, I'm safe, I'm secure, giving yourself those little reminders of this is the frequency I want to vibrate at. And when you start to vibrate at that frequency, you begin to attract opportunities, experiences, people who bring you more of that frequency. This is the law of attraction. This is like attracts like. And you are going to bring so much more into your reality. I promise you that. So get very, very clear. And also, another simple action step that you can start to get into the habit of is just giving more. Give more. And if you don't have more money to give, maybe you can give more of your time. Maybe you can give more of your energy. Maybe you can give more compliments. Maybe you can just tip 50 cents extra on something. Maybe when you get your coffee next, you tip 111. That's what I always tip whenever I grab a coffee. You can start to just expand your wealth right there, because when you do, you're signifying to the universe that you have more than enough. And you know that, and you feel solid with that. And you know you're always attracting more. Abundance is always available to us. But again, we must tune into it. I personally love tuning into just the incredible abundance around me on a daily basis by just acknowledging things, by acknowledging, wow, there's like so many cars in this parking lot. What an abundance. I have so much food in my fridge. What an abundance. I have any money in my bank account. What an abundance. I truly want every single person in this community to step into the most abundant version of yourself. That only happens when you show up abundantly before you maybe have the abundance to show for it. Because again, that gratitude is what brings more into your life. You deserve to have abundance. A lot of the times when we don't have the abundance that we have always wanted, it's actually something internal that is blocking us from experiencing the level of abundance that we desire. There's a version of us that doesn't want to be seen, is fearful of success, is worried, oh my gosh, if I start making a lot of money, how am I going to take care of everything? Like, how am I going to manage that? I don't know anything about doing that. There can be these fears that start to come up that then we take action from that fear. And instead of doing the things that we know will bring us more income or more abundance or more freedom, we distract ourselves with things that keep us in the same place because our brains are wired to keep us safe, to make sure that we're not experiencing a lot of change because change is scary, change is dangerous to our brains. But if we can start to get into the habit of reinforcing that change is what I have been asking for, change is exactly what I want right now. Change is not fearful, change is exciting, and it means more opportunities. And you really start to rewire the way that your brain relates to success, relates to change, relates to business, relates to finances, relates to all of these different things. You really start to rewire your mindset. And another thing too is subconscious reprogramming. This is the kinds of videos that you will see all the time on YouTube, and people swear by this, and it's because it works. It's because sometimes it can be challenging for us to change our beliefs when we are in the conscious version of ourselves. But when we are in theta state, when we are in the state of just waking up or just going to sleep, our brain is the most malleable. It's at a place where you can truly shift and change it. And so if you are consciously programming your mind with new beliefs that support you, new thoughts that are supportive, that are abundant, where you know you're making a contribution to this world, you know that you bring so much to the table, you know that you're so special, you will start to show up that way. And other people will feel that, and it will continue to expand, and your abundance will flow. I hope that you guys can start taking these actions, giving more compliments, giving a 50-cent tip where you can, helping out others, giving your time and energy to others, giving people their flowers when you see someone doing something great on social media or in the gym or wherever, giving those compliments and giving them freely without expectation, giving yourself so much more gratitude, so much more grounding in every moment. Every single time that you get into your car, give gratitude, knowing that you have a vehicle that takes you from point A to point Z. How beautiful is that? We have so much to be grateful for. Okay, I am so happy that we got to dive into this. This is going to be the first call for Abundant April. We will have another call not this upcoming week, the week after that. And yeah, Jade, do you have any questions for me before we end this? I'll stop the recording really quick.